They gon' respect it if it's authentic, no fraud image. I don't applaud gimmicks, so-called killing, no frauds in this. That's unacceptable.
We back
again
with another one. This one is totally different.
There ain't no music now. We gonna talk though. 𝐤𝐴.
Boss busy, man. Your favorite Georgia boy, man. What's happening, man?
Chilling, man. We got to chop this up, man. Woman has 53 kids, and we get to digging and diving for information to see if this shit is even possible. And we're going to talk about it, but just in general, taking it at face value, this woman in the Congo of Africa, the country of Congo in the continent of Africa, just to be specific, claims to have 53 kids. It's saying world record. I haven't went to Guinness to actually check that. And I may need to do that. But
what I seen going back to the 1400s, somebody had 69, bro. So I don't know.
Well, I know, the 1400s, I guess Guinness, I don't think Guinness was around, I guess, to record keep at that time, but hell, you keep going back in the Bible days, it's somebody in the Bible probably with about 200 kids. Who I don't know. But we basically gonna break this down. And when it comes to, when you talk about a woman with 53 kids, man, it's a lot of different ways and angles you could think of. How is that possible? How is that, like, when they go to, and there was a moment in this video, we're not going to watch the whole video, but it was a moment in there that was like, imagine going to school and everybody in the school is a sibling. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. And we're talking about Congo. We're not talking over here in the States. So things are different over there. But, the first thing anybody would think is, like me, how old is she? You got 53 kids? And
right.
You are in your 50s?
Yeah. They say that math ain't doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
well, we'll get to that. We definitely gonna get to that. And I hate to do it, but I just did the shit on the Whitakers. My brain is still kind of in that mode, and I'm thinking about when it comes to all of these kids, the relations between them. If they know that all of these people are off limits, coming into puberty, having children of their own, inbreed, like that's what I'm thinking about just from coming off of that video. I hate to say it because this shit gross, but you think about it, if you go to school, just think of the debauchery that could be going on down the road, man.
Yeah, and then the one thing we haven't spoke about, 53 kids from one person.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we should go ahead because I think some of these questions may get answered, and some of them we still will have questions afterward. And we're gonna go over the medical aspect. You done Googled up some things, so let's go ahead and get into it, man.
Sure, let's do it.
It's a shame. My job isn't sustainable. I wish I could help my mother more. This is just too much. But Francine's journey didn't start here.
When I was 16, I met a man. He told me he loved me, and I got pregnant with my firstborn, 𝐭𝐶. But he left me. Maybe he wasn't ready. At 19, I met my husband, the love of my life. Together, we had 52 children. Unfortunately, my husband passed away 2 months ago. If you had come earlier, you could have met him. He was the most incredible and strongest man I have ever known.
Oh no, what terrible news. The father of this extraordinary family is no longer here. I was hoping to meet him, but fate had other plans. But Francine, how did you give birth to all these children?
If I stop giving birth, I could die. Let me explain. I was born with a genetic condition called hyperovulation, which releases more than one egg in a cycle. This significantly increases the chance of having twins, triplets, quadruplets, or even quintuplets. At my 12th child, I went to see a doctor. He told me I had to keep giving birth to reduce my fertility. Otherwise, tumors could form in my ovaries and kill me in a short time.
Okay. Hyperovulation is this condition. This doctor told her, you have to keep having kids. If you stop having kids, a tumor could build and you could die. That's what she was told by her doctor.
And what she said was, if she was to stop having kids, a tumor would form in her ovaries and it could kill her. Now, from my research, the brief research that I did do, I haven't seen anything that states that hyperovulation could kill you. Now, we know pregnancies sometimes do take the life of the mother. That's with complications.
Right.
But it did not say for this particular situation or this condition that we're speaking on, hyperovulation. It never said that. Nowhere. So what's your thoughts on the fact that that doctor told her that?
Well, you know, they're definitely Congo. They're definitely not in a country that is known for medical advancement. You know, what does it take to be a doctor and all of that? Pretty sure that the medical technology maybe there isn't as advanced as a country like America, where maybe this doctor told her something that was not true.
But what would be, you think that was his diagnosis? Because if this is such a rare condition, then you would have to have, history of this actually happen or taking place where someone actually lost their life when they stopped having kids. So, but if he haven't found that out, then what would be his purpose of telling her that if he has no facts behind his findings? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. It doesn't at all. It may have been a hypothesis or a thesis that he, had this notion of, just thinking about over ovulation, super ovulation as they call it, and just thinking logically, if it's too many eggs, then they're at some point, if they're not being released, then it's gonna create a tumor. Maybe that's, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
That's probably what he thought that could happen with maybe the situation, because it says with hyperovulation you producing multiple eggs, right?
Right.
But I just wanted to go into these facts that I found here. It said one older study suggests that 20% of people who menstruate, have the capacity to hyperovulate. Is 20% really a small fucking number, bro?
It's not. I mean, you think about it. Hell, that's almost 1 in 4, just under 1 in 4.
Yeah, and we do know that twins, it does run in people's families. Having sex with twins, because it happened in my family. But hyperovulation, 20%. I wonder where these numbers come from. Was this tested globally? I don't know. There's a lot of questions we can ask about this.
Right.
So as a refresher, the eggs are found inside follices in the ovaries. These follices develop only when there's a rush of FSH in the body, which I'm not familiar with that. Usually one follicle becomes dominant, releasing one egg into the fallopian tubes. Healthcare professionals could theoretically use an ultrasound to see whether multiple follices are developing, but it's highly unlikely that they would order an ultrasound for this purpose. What's the outlook for someone with hyperovulation? Hyperovulation is not a disease or cancer. It's just it's just a fluke thing that happens to some people during their menstrual cycle. So it's not a disease.
Right.
Now let's go back to the question that we just asked. The doctor said she could die if she stopped having kids. If that was the case, I would look at this disease as goddamn cancer or something, wouldn't you?
Yeah, she called it, in her words, a condition. The condition isn't a disease, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that after something like that, if a doctor tells me that, I'm like, second opinion, let me get it. But they are in the Congo, and that things aren't the same. Maybe she didn't get a second opinion. She didn't mention about a second opinion. So that's kind of up in the air. I don't know on that.
Now, one thing it does say here, more research is needed to explore the timeline for pregnancy in people who hyperovulate in comparison to those who do not, which means how long do they actually stay pregnant? Because let's think about it, bro. 53 kids, and this lady is 50 years old. Okay, she could have had several sets of twins, and I don't have those numbers. I'm not sure if you do or not.
Right.
But going back to what she said in the beginning, she met somebody at the age of 16 who was really not ready. And then later she met who became her husband. And I don't know if that was 16 or 19.
It was, I think it was 16. It was 16. She had one, and that was the oldest that was speaking at the beginning. That was her oldest child when she was 16. His father left, and then at 19 is who she had all the rest of the kids with, basically.
Okay, so she had 52 kids from her husband and one from the guy who was not ready. Okay, 16, one kid. 19 to the age she's at now, which I think it's at 50. I'm not sure if it's later on in her 50s, but
I think it was early 50s, yeah.
It's not 19. It's 19, she started having these 52 kids at 19, bro. Let's round up to 20. Let's say she's 50. Let's say she's 50. That's 30 years, bro. 52 kids in 30 years. Is it possible? Yes, it is. It is. Because like we said, twins are one of the things that happen when you are hyper ovulating.
Yeah.
And then let's say some of her solo pregnancies only last 4 months. 4 months. There's 12 months in a year. If that happened, what that is, 4, 4, 4. That's 3 fucking kids in a year, bro.
So,
what's your thoughts, man?
I'm trying to bring it because it gave an actual breakdown. When it comes to you talk about quintuplets and all that, 53 children.
I gave birth to all 53 children in just 17 pregnancies. Here's how.
17 pregnancies.
goodness. A pair of twins. 5 times. 4 triplets. She had twins 5 times. She had a quadruplets 3 times and quintuplets 2 times. 17 pregnancies. Let me run that back.
I gave birth to all 53 children in just 17 pregnancies. Here's how. I had quintuplets twice, quadruplets 3 times, triplets 4 times, twins 5 times, and single births 3 times.
Okay, so she did have some single births in there, along
Just
with
3?
the numbers that we just seen.
Just 3. So she had twins 5 times. That's 10 kids right there. Then you add the 3 that she had solo 3 times. That's 13. She had triplets, was it 4 times? That's 12 kids. So that's 13 plus 12. That's 25 kids right there.
So the math wasn't looking right, but as she explained that right there, the math does look like it's possible. I don't know how, but statistically, it is a possibility, I guess.
30 years from 19 to 50. That's 21 years. I mean, 31 years to be exact. 17 pregnancies in 31 years. It's possible, bro. I mean, she's not taking very many breaks, I can tell you that.
Hell no.
But you can understand why. If the doctor told her you're gonna die if you stop having kids. Now, what's gonna trip me out is, which I don't know if we'll ever get an update on this lady's story, but is she still having kids because her husband's dead?
Right.
You know what
She
I'm
better
saying?
not. Shit. Her oldest son talking about, do you see all them plates out there, man? It's like he said, yeah, it's like a wedding. Every meal is like you going to a wedding. And it's just plate. Like, she better not, man. What happened so my thing, hold on. My mama had 2 and got her tubes tied. What's going on?
Hopefully they tied that, bro. I hope
you can't tie them tubes after you had 12. You couldn't have tied your tubes? Or with hyper...
The doctor said she'll die.
Well, did he say that she'll die if she... I don't know, man. Yeah, this shit goofy, man. She wanted to have all them damn kids, man.
But why? You can't take care of no 53 kids by yourself. Them kids must be out. They learning how to hunt and all that shit, bro. I mean, I don't know how the government assistance is in Congo, but it would have to come to a point. They're like, lady, you gotta stop. But then the doctor said, I'll die because I will form form a tumor in my ovaries, which would kill me.
Right.
How long does it take for this tumor to form? Because you can't sit here and tell me she ain't try to take a fucking break.
Hey, that man had some superpowers, bro. He was digging for gold.
I know people who have multiple kids. Like the guy that used to work with me, he's like 35 and he has 23 fucking kids.
God.
And they're not all from the same woman, but
right.
So the man, it's definitely easy for that to happen.
Right.
But damn, bro. Like, what kind of job did you have, man? I don't know, man. I guess he thought he was saving her life. Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, ignorance, you know, it's something. Nobody's immune to ignorance, not even doctors. I would like to see an update on her. You know, all these kids, they all around the same age. Of course, y'all see in the picture up there, it's some of the guys. It seems like it's mostly boys too, but I guess if you have quintuplet, well, you can have quintuplets with different genders though. But it looks like majority boys when you look at genders, and that's scary in its own form and fashion. Just when you talk about, you know, I'm the one I talk about all the time that it's a percentage of humanity that is corrupt. You think about these things like SA and things like this, when these kids, these boys start reaching puberty, and it's that many, and you know, it's overwhelmingly more boys. You know, these girls, man. I would hope and pray that, you know, there's some supervision. Great supervision is all I would pray for. I don't even want to go any further into that, but
the only person I know who had a house with 52 fucking rooms was Mike Tyson, bro. And he sold that fucking house to fucking 57. That makes me wonder how these kids living, bro. Like,
it looks like in here, it looks like it's like a little bitty cul-de-sac. Like there's multiple houses on this little area, and there's one main house, and then there's other little houses. But you seen sofas. I seen sofas sleeping in the video. I'll put the video in the description box so y'all can see fully, because they did show the living quarters and how they're living. And yeah, some of the older children are sleeping on sofas, and then the smaller children, they're in beds, but they're not just one to a bed. So yeah, I'll drop that in the description box. But yeah,
just imagine 53 kids. Man, one of them kids had to make it big in some type of fucking sport, bro. Like, if I had 53 kids and none of them was able to do nothing to make me rich, boy, that's the worst luck in the goddamn world.
Yeah, that's when it comes to that schooling they talking about, implement soccer. You know, I think that's the sport over there that's the most popular. Do something. I see some tall ones back there. That dude right there, yeah, he that boy, Buddy looked like a good 6'4", 6'5". Now this a big boy over there. That boy, I mean, that's an offensive lineman right there. So hey.
That nigga had a beard, man. He almost looked like he could be the husband, man. Damn, boy. Look, man, Serena daddy had 2 kids, and both of them motherfuckers
hey, but you know, the environment, you know, and then this is their job. Like, they helping out probably as well. So I don't know, man. I thought it was a interesting human interest story. Just wanted to bring it forward. It ain't music, but I felt like, hey.
Well, salute to that lady. I hope something comes great out of these 53 kids. I'd have pulled out every last one of my dreads. Ain't no goddamn one here, bro.
Right.
Like, just to say, man, the link to this video will be in the description, man. You can check it out for yourself, man. You be the judge. Is this shit for real?
They gon' respect it if it's authentic, no fraud image. I don't applaud gimmicks, so-called killing, no frauds in this.